Hey, everybody. Welcome to CarnivorousGrama Speaks Women of Wisdom series. My name is Robin Heron, and I am your Carnivorous Grandma. And I'm very happy to be here with my new friend, Victoria, from the FEW Carnivores. Hi, Victoria.
Hello, Robin.
We're so excited to meet you and have you be a guest on the show today. Before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and read my scripture, which I always read for this particular show. It's Proverbs 14:1. And it says, "The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down." And I love this scripture. It really resonates with me as far as women and health choices and making decisions. And yours has been a powerful, your story is so powerful. I'm telling you, it's just really, really interesting what has gone on with you. So I would love it if you could just go ahead and take a moment and introduce yourself and let us know where you're from.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for reaching out and having me on the show. I'm excited to be here. My name is Victoria, and I am from cold Canada at the moment. We're just approaching spring. And yeah, I have been on YouTube just for just under a year, sharing my eczema story. And it kind of started out with just, different ways. I've had eczema my entire life. And then about 6 months into that journey, I decided to go carnivore and just completely change things around, as we'll get into later in the episode. And here I am now, 6 months of carnivore and almost eczema free, doing really well with my health. Eczema's done so much more. I'm sorry, carnivore's done so much more for my health than I realized. I just did it for the skin, but it's been such a blessing. So anyway, that's just kind of me in a nutshell. I love to play piano. I'm a creative. I love all things green. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Very good. So, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and growing up? You looking good, girl. 6 months. It's a game changer. Tell me, right? It's a game
Amazing.
changer.
I'm happy to be at this mark.
So tell us a little bit about what it is that you do besides YouTube.
Yeah, that doesn't pay my bills. So I actually I teach piano on the side, and I'm like a woman of many talents. I also
Okay.
I'm in banking, not a banker, but do that sort of thing. So it keeps me busy.
Wow, that's awesome. My husband plays the keyboard. So creatives are just so I was just telling him we were talking the other day about how important it is to have music
Mm,
like in your life, to have music in
everything.
your life. It
Yeah.
really, really makes a difference. And we are ministers at our church. And
Mhm.
so actually he's a pastor. I shouldn't diminish him at all. But anyway, he's a pastor and he that music sets the stage for for everything. It's just so nice. So I love that you're a creative like that. I am not a creative, not at all. So somebody's got to do it, but I'm happy that you're doing
We
it.
need both. My husband's not a creative either, so
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So you said
Relation-
that you started your YouTube channel about a year ago.
Yes.
And at the end of the show, we'll go ahead and pop your YouTube channel up so we can make sure that people get subscribed to your channel. And I saw that you pivoted, like you took a huge pivot on your channel, right? You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I originally started more so in the eczema space, just sharing my story. Because at that point, I had actually just begun a drug called Dupixent. And Dupixent is like the Rolls Royce of eczema medication. It's like about $24,000 a year to take. I got on some special plan, so I didn't have to pay for it. But it's an expensive drug. And so I had started it, and I remember looking on YouTube for people that looked like me that had been on the medication, and there just wasn't
Mm,
really many in the space. And just in general, I didn't find actually a lot of women, Black women on the internet that were sharing their eczema story. And I just thought it would be a good opportunity to share my story. And I mean, I've had eczema since I was a little girl. So I learned a thing or two of just like how to thrive with it. Even at my worst, people would meet me, and that's not the first thing that they would notice, or they would just be like, wow, like even though you suffer, like you can't really tell. And so I think I had learned some things just even in my confidence, how I presented those types of things. And I thought, I could share that on, on the internet. So, while you're as a content creator, you're always looking for new things to try and new videos. And I always knew that I wanted to try the carnivore diet, but
Mm.
still felt like it's going to be really expensive. Just something, I don't know, just a little bit out of reach, didn't seem like realistic. And if you watched any of my videos, I think I even mentioned a couple times that maybe I would try it, but I just never really dove in. And then in September of this, or last year, I should say, wow, that went quickly, but September of last year, I went to a women's retreat, and I was so excited to go on this retreat. And I think maybe 2 days before, my skin really started to blow up, and I was trying to taper off that medication that I'd been taking,
Mhm.
a host of side effects. And so I just remember just thinking, do I not go to the women's retreat? Like, I've already paid for it. And it just felt like once again, my eczema had kind of like robbed me of something. And I still went on the retreat. I was miserable the entire time. It was kind of like an Airbnb style. So I just walked in, and like when you have eczema, you're like very hyper aware of your surroundings. Like I know the dust, I know if there's been pets there, I know, like I just could tell like this is not going to be good. Not that it didn't look beautiful, but I just knew it wasn't going to be good. And
Mhm.
literally, like I was allergic to the pillows because they were filled with down. And so the next morning I woke up and like my face is swollen, and I'm having to like soak in the bathtub while everyone
Mm,
is
mm, mm.
kayaking and having a blast. And I came to like a tipping point. I'm like, I need to do something really extreme. And I remember many years ago when I saw the Petersons, I think Michaela Peterson and her father discussing the carnivore diet. I just had that thought, like, they're desperately sick. So that's like it's something you do when you're like desperate times, desperate measures,
Right.
kind of thing. And in that moment, I kind of felt that way. Like this is awful how I've been living. So I decided just kind of like, that's it. I'm just going to literally, cannonball into the world of carnivore. And I just started to consume a lot of content. I actually didn't even know that there was this much content out there. And I started to share that story. And as I was sharing my story, more and more people from the carnivore community were like, or people who are carnivore curious, were discussing and commenting, and I was just like, wow, okay. So even though the FEW stands for fellow eczema warriors, it's just in general, I open my channel to everyone, because the whole thing, at least this is how I felt with having eczema. I'm like the only one I know that has eczema. Like people might have like very mild eczema, but as the pictures that I'll show, you can put them up whenever. But like mine was pretty severe. There was times that I looked like Freddy Krueger's long lost child. Like it was pretty bad. So I always felt alone and isolated. And one thing that I love about the FEW and like some of these online spaces like yours, for example, is that you can come together with others and you feel like you're a part of something. You don't feel like you're the only one that's sick, because we all have our thing, but it's not, you might be the only one in your like actual real life circle that has that thing. But then you come and you look in the comments and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. The FEW is actually many. So that's kind of like in a nutshell how that pivot happened. And then I'm like the FEW carnivores, because I mean, there's only a few carnivores. I'm the only, actually, I know two other carnivores in real life. So yeah, I still feel like the FEW.
That's pretty good, actually, that you know too in real life. When I started this channel, I was the only carnivore that I knew.
Hmm.
And I actually started my channel I thought I was going to do this for weight loss. I had
Okay.
no idea
Yeah.
that the food was causing this big problem for me. And
Okay.
so I don't know if you had experienced this, but I went to many doctors.
Mhm.
Many doctors. The only reason I didn't try Dupixent was it came out too late.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't try
You
it.
didn't need it, you didn't need
So,
it.
yeah, but, I tried a lot of different things, and I went to many doctors, and they told me, "This is not food related." Did
Mhm.
you have that same experience?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yep. I think the only time they ever told me it was food related, I was like a little girl, and it was more like, "Don't eat chocolate, don't eat sweets."
Okay.
Like,
Mm,
they
mhm.
didn't really have any reasoning or rationale, but it was just kind of, everyone knows to stay away from those things, so perhaps that's causing it, but they didn't
Yeah.
really drill it in me. But yeah, it was always like, "No, it's topical, maybe it's environmental, maybe it's something in your genes." Like, it was always very ambiguous.
Yes, very ambiguous. And what I was telling you that I met with Dr. Annalise Barron, and she said it's because they have no clue, no
Yeah,
idea what's causing it.
yeah,
But for me, it's very clearly certain foods that if I consume them, which is interesting,
yeah.
things like lettuce. Maybe you can tell us some of the things that trigger you? Because I have lettuce, I have
Mhm.
dairy, I have seed oils
Yeah.
that just cause my eczema to go crazy.
Go
How about
ahead.
you?
So I haven't introduced too many things back in, but one big one is dairy. 100%. I cannot
Mhm.
even go near the dairy. But the problem is, I love dairy. So I'm always trying to splash a little in my coffee. Just, I'm always trying to play around with it, especially now that I'm like more healed. But I will flare. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I do notice if I go somewhere, I still eat seasoning on my meat, but if I put too much seasoning or I notice it was cooked in a seed oil, like you said,
Yep.
yep, I'm gonna flare. So I'm not sure in terms of like vegetables or carbohydrates because I haven't really consumed enough of those yet to really
Yes.
be able to tell. But definitely dairy is a no. Too much spice is a no, which is very sad. I love my
Oh, I totally get it. I found it out that I was allergic to black pepper.
no,
Black pepper, yes, black pepper, y'all. It's
heartbreaking.
crazy. Yeah,
Wow.
so I can't really tolerate any of the pepper or nightshades or things like tomatoes. So I've been doing this for 3 years, so I've tried a
Mhm.
few things,
Yeah.
um, and accidentally got some lettuce. Now the funny thing was I always hated lettuce. I thought there's no such thing as a nice salad.
Mhm,
Salads are
mhm.
not nice. I don't like them. I thought I didn't like it.
Okay.
But,
The body is very
I accidentally got it with some burger patties, and I
mm,
found out that I'm allergic to it, and it causes my eczema to flare. So,
wow.
I mean, I was allergic to everything as a kid. I don't know, yeah, you sound kinda like me, where the down pillows
Yeah.
and, the
Cats,
seasonal allergies,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
everything. It's all really connected
Mhm.
is what I think we're finding. It's all really connected because for me, within that first 90 days on carnivore, my seasonal allergies went away.
Mm.
Did you experience that?
So this is about to be allergy season, so we're gonna
Mhm.
see how I
Oh,
do.
that's right. You started in the
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It should be
Yep.
very, very interesting. However, I went to a friend's house, maybe like last month or the month before, and she had a cat. And I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be interesting. And I did still, my nose got a little bit runny, but normally, like I would be itching. I would have to just get out of there.
Mm.
I just had a bit more of a runny nose. So I can,
Mhm.
the needle has moved in the right direction of healing. That's for sure. Because
Absolutely.
I would have had to pop a pill of some kind.
Yep. 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 I hear you. So are you on any kind of medication right now for your eczema?
Nope.
What
No,
you say
zero,
now?
nothing.
That
Girl,
is
nothing
amazing.
but meat.
That is amazing. Amazing, amazing.
And
Um,
I was taking the Dupixent kind of on and off for about 6 months, and I even had to go through the withdrawal period because you withdraw from the medication, things got
yes,
worse. But this is kind of the first time in my life, that my skin has looked this good without medication.
amazing. I have a little granddaughter here, and she's gonna be 4 on her birthday in the fall. She has
Mhm.
terrible eczema. Eczema, I mean, I guess it Sort of runs in the family. I would say the food that we eat runs in the family for sure, and
Mhm.
certainly a lot of carbohydrates and sugars, and dairy, a lot of cheese. I was a
Mm,
cheese-aholic. I ate cheese on everything. Even
absolutely.
when I was on carnivore, I
Yeah.
started out with all the cheese, and I kept going and finding out that I really can't tolerate cheese at all. How it
Yeah.
was heartbreaking. So anyway, I'm like looking at her thinking, she's gonna have to eat meat. This
It's
baby is
true.
gonna have to eat meat soon.
It's
Yeah, if she wants to be have her skin be cleared up. And I have another granddaughter she just turned 17.
okay.
And I'm telling her, like, if you want your skin to clear up, you need
Yeah.
to eat meat. You need
Yeah.
to get cut that she's not ready.
Right.
She's
That's
not
the thing.
ready.
Sometimes people they just haven't, they're just not at that point, you know?
Right, right,
The
right,
pain
right.
isn't enough. I'm like, it's the pain. The pain to I feel like carnivore is not like just any other diet. Like it does take such a element of sacrifice. And I feel like the catalyst to get there, it needs to be worth it. Like you have to have a strong why. Otherwise, I don't think you'll be able to sustain it. So if it's not causing you enough difficulty, or even with like weight loss, for example, that makes someone depressed enough, they'll do the diet. But
Right.
it's just you really have to deny yourself a lot on this diet. It doesn't feel like that once you get used to it, but initially it's just like what you're just gonna eat steak, like that's it.
Exactly.
People are
Yes,
looking at you like you're like from another planet.
exactly. 100%. So tell me a little bit about like you did talk a little bit about how eczema impacts you.
Mm,
I did bring up your picture just briefly,
mhm,
but I wanted you to talk a little bit about this picture that you sent me here.
mm. Yeah, yeah, you
Can you
can see
see
my
it?
eyes are so sad.
Mhm.
So sad, but yeah, these are different points in my life. My skin would always flare. Well, at one point, you'd see up above my lip, it was always open, like no matter
Mhm.
what. Anytime I drank something or ate something, it would sting, it would burn.
Yes.
My eyes, I mean, gosh, it looks like was battered, like I was being beat, And so obviously that wears at your confidence. You feel like
Yes.
you have to wear makeup all the time. And eventually I did just stop wearing makeup altogether, and I just would wear my regular face like right now. And but it took me a while to get there. You always feel like you have to hide under that, because otherwise people look at you and like, what is wrong with you? Or like when I have to go
Yes.
shake someone's hand, my hands would be like covered in eczema, it would be
Mm,
bleeding. And I mean, who really does want to like shake someone's hand when it looks like that? But people will kind of
right.
flinch, and it can eat at you inside. So I
Yes.
had to really
Absolutely.
figure out who I was on the inside, and just learn to navigate in the world. I didn't know there was a cure or a way out. So I just did the best I could. And I think about 10 years ago, I stopped using steroid medications. I was
Mm,
using steroid medications for like most of my life. Maybe
yep.
even longer ago, I stopped, but I went through the topical steroid withdrawal. And so I learned to manage my eczema more naturally, but it didn't just go away. I feel like that a lot of people think if they just stop using the drugs, it'll just heal or just go away on its own. But that's not always the case. That wasn't the case for me. And I found like slowly it just kind of got worse and worse and worse. And now I realize it is because of the diet. If you don't change what
Mhm.
you're eating, of course, why would your skin get any better? It actually gets worse.
Right. The funny thing is, I did not allow myself to go through the steroid withdrawal
You didn't.
because it was so painful.
Yeah.
It was so painful, and it was so, I don't know what I say. I used a steroid cream on my face for probably 40 years.
Wow. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
And I used it up until I went carnivore.
Okay.
And then I realized, wait a minute, I haven't been putting this cream on my
Mhm.
face. And, I still had it. When I look back at my videos, I can see it took about 9 months for it to clear up all the
Clear.
way
Okay.
off my face.
Yeah.
But basically, I just refused to go through that pain, and
I
I
hear
I too had the hand eczema with I had blistering,
yeah.
like, oh my god, so bad, so bad, to where my hands inside the palms look like hamburger meat. It was
Mm,
bad. And so I used creams every single day, every creams and ointments every single day. I never allowed myself. And they did say like, "Oh, if you just go through the steroid cream withdrawal, it'll clear up." I didn't
mhm.
believe them. I didn't believe them. I did not believe them.
Didn't. Maybe for
Yeah.
some of us, but I wasn't so lucky.
Right. I mean, I think maybe for somebody who has, like you said, a mild case, that
Mhm,
might work, but you and I had, like, such severe cases of it
mhm.
that, did you have any other diagnoses that you were, trying to deal with, or was it just purely eczema?
Just yeah, just my eczema. Yeah. So I
Okay.
overall, I was pretty healthy, or so
Mhm.
I thought, I guess. I would say yes, by everyone's standards, I was healthy, but it wasn't until I went carnivore that I experienced what genuine health feels like having energy all day, never
Mm.
needing naps, no up and down mood stuff or cramps anymore and never bloating and just so those types of things.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, like I listen to people I know talk of always being tired all the time or headache this or I'm like, oh yeah, like that's all gone. So I
Wow.
never really realized before that those were issues for me because it's just normal for everybody to be tired all the time or be bloated all the time or even to like for I don't have to wear deodorant like I don't sweat I mean I sweat but I don't smell
Wow.
it's just
Yes, I've
those
heard
are all
people say that,
elements
yeah.
yeah,
That's
from
pretty
the diet, so it's
yeah,
pretty
very, very interesting. And so have you been meeting other carnivores, in your with your, YouTube channel? Have they been coming in talking to you about it?
in the comments, like, we just if people are like, "Where can I find you?" I'm like, "In my comments." Because I'm like, passionately responding back to everybody because I'm just so fascinated. Even before I or when I first was starting carnivore, uh, more than the videos, I would just read people's comments. That's what I was mostly interested in because I was like, "Okay, I don't know if these YouTubers or or now I'm one of them, are trying to sell me something, right?" But when you
Mhm.
read thousands, Robin, of comments of people just saying and like paragraph upon paragraph how this was healed and that was healed. And like these people have nothing to gain. And so that
Right.
was actually the real seller for the diet, not so much the videos, but like what people were saying about it. And
Mhm.
so yeah, on my channel, people are always sharing their story. I always encourage people to share their story because it helped me. Like it helps really validate the diet for me because there sadly aren't really any studies. And so, but if you will, just go look at the comments, that's a study in it itself, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, and, I think I saw you on Dave Mack,
yeah,
right? Yeah, so Dave Mack is amazing,
so good.
absolutely amazing, but yeah, so, when you look
Funny
at the
story about
comments
Big
go
Mac. So I was 6 weeks at that point,
Oh,
6 weeks
wow.
into my journey when I went on. I was very excited. Everything was going amazing. And then literally 2 days after my interview with him, my face just blew up. My body started blowing up. I think I was going through like an oxalate dump, or I don't know what it was, healing crisis
Mhm.
of some sort. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was just on there, but I stuck to it. I stuck to the diet.
Good.
And at about week
Yes.
12, things calmed down. So, but it was just kind of ironic. Whenever I look back at that, I was like, oh, little did I know what was coming.
Right. I mean, I think that happens to a lot of us, right? I started my channel
Yeah.
and you'll see like in my early days, I'm talking about every other video is like, ooh, eczema
Yeah.
flare, eczema
Yeah.
flare, because I was having all these flare-ups.
Mm,
Um, Now it's like specifically something that I ingest that causes my eczema to flare.
okay.
And surprising things, like the lettuce, I
That
had
is
no idea.
wow.
I was using heavy cream in my coffee for 2 years.
Oh,
2 years after I started carnivore, and it's like,
okay.
"Okay, yeah, this is you definitely have a problem with that," and
Yeah.
cheese, just the cheese and stuff. But this is I just gotta bring this up because this stuff right here, this is creatine.
Creatine. Oh, girl, send that in send me that later.
Well, this caused my eczema to flare up.
No, okay, don't send it. It's okay. Send it back.
Don't yeah, I kept it because they wouldn't take it back, but,
Mm,
like
okay.
so that was surprising. It's a
Mhm.
creatine complex. So certain things may cause your eczema to flare that are just complete. This is a supplement. I mean, it's your body makes this,
Yeah.
you know. And so it was really, really surprising how it impacted me. So certain surprising things cause
Mm,
that eczema to flare up. But typically I don't have any problems as long as I don't get a hold of any dairy. I mean, it's a struggle.
I
It
know.
definitely is a struggle. So that why, like you said, has to be big. The why has to be big,
Yeah.
and my why is huge. Like, um, so I was covering my stuff up with makeup.
Yeah, okay. Don't worry, I did that for the first part, and then
Yeah.
my friend actually, she said to me, she's like, "You should stop." She's like, "Because then the people around you, when you heal, it's gonna be even more of a greater story, you know?" So I
Yes.
always vowed when I came onto YouTube or whatever, I'm like, "I'm not gonna wear any makeup. I'm just gonna wear mascara," because I mean, like, you're lucky I already look, a hot mess, so let's not go
Okay.
all the way. Lip gloss and but I'm like, I'm not putting foundation and stuff on. So if you watch any of my videos, you'll see that. And you can actually even visibly watch how my skin has changed over the
Yes.
course of time. But so I really took to heart when she said that. But when she first said not to wear makeup, I'm like, what do you think this is? And as women, like, we want to look good. Like, who's trying to
Right.
go out looking a hot
Exactly.
mess? No.
While you're talking about that, I'm gonna bring up your before and after.
Yeah.
There it is.
Um,
Look at you,
It makes
girl.
me like, yeah. Oh man, that day was actually
Mhm.
the day of the retreat or the day after the retreat. So
Wow.
it
Yeah.
I was in so much pain. It like makes me want to cry.
I totally I totally understand. Completely understand. You know, I used to call it like my eyes would flatten out almost. They would swell
Mhm.
and flatten out,
Yeah,
and it would just be I totally resonate with that and how hard that was, and it's painful.
very
You know,
painful.
and the funny thing is you're right because my when I showed the pictures to my family of how I used to look, I'm gonna show it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my before and after. When I
Oh,
showed the pictures to my family, they were like, that is
yeah,
not real.
they don't remember you looking like
That
this.
is not real." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yes, that is exactly real."
Yeah.
I was suffering, and I think that, you just kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
People don't realize how painful that actually is.
Oh yeah.
And then
No,
they start feeling sorry for you because you can't eat anything.
guys, now I don't think anyone feels sorry for me anymore. Like, yeah, she's good. She,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
but
Okay.
yeah.
So, how was your transition? So you just started, you've been on carnivore about 6 months. I
Mhm.
say you just started back in September. How was the transition? Like, was it easy, hard? Was it, did you experience any side effects or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm no stranger to sort of like dieting. So, I've done different diets. I've done standard American. I call it the SHAD diet, the standard healthy American diet, when we're eating smoothies and quinoa and, dates dipped in this, that, and the third. Like, I've done that diet. I've done no sugar. And just coming into carnivore, just before I started, I was kind of keto. I would say, yeah, more high fat than the protein element. It's very interesting. In all the diets that I've done, protein was never like a main player. I don't know
Mhm.
why.
Interesting.
I always was filling it with vegetables, I've even been a vegetarian before. Like, I was always trying to do all those different things because green looks healthy. Like it looks,
Right.
it looks
Yes.
like it's going to
Yes.
do something for you.
Exactly.
The greener, the better. So I felt like, yeah, I was kind of distancing myself from the processed sugar and, carbs just before I went carnivore. Although I definitely was a former sugar addict, but I knew for sure that the sugar wasn't good for me. So when I went carnivore, it wasn't, I was at a 3-day fast. Yeah, I did about a 3-day fast to sort of reset my body. I find fasting is very helpful if you want to make any like lifestyle change. Fast for a little bit first. And so I did a fast and then I had my first meal. And it was the first time in my like 39 years, at that time I was 39, that I had only eaten a meal of just meat. Like even when you eat wings, there's fries on the side. Like nobody
Right.
just meat by itself. So I remember it like it was yesterday. Like it was a huge piece of steak and like 5 slices of bacon. And I just remember looking down, I'm like, this is gonna make me feel so sick. But I'm like, oh well,
Mm.
like, if they say this is so healing, well, let's go. So I remember eating it and I didn't have any side effects. And the fact that I didn't eat for 3 days and then I ate all that food, my stomach, Robin, didn't even hurt. Like I
Wow.
stood up, I'm looking in the mirror to see if I was gonna, get really snatched when you fast. And then when you break
Yes.
it, all of a sudden you're bloated. My stomach was still, it's
Yep.
like, wow, this is pretty impressive. So that
Mhm.
alone, I was like, I'm sold. Like no bloating. And the next morning I noticed that, I still felt good. I think what I did notice maybe, and it happened about 3 or 4 days in, I started to feel kind of like low mood, maybe just kind of
Mhm.
like, you know, I didn't crave carbs or anything like that. And it could just have been my why, like that picture that you put up. Like I every time I looked in the mirror, I was like, yeah, like it's not worth the donuts. You can't pay me enough donuts to look like that again. And very quickly, my inflammation in my face was going down. So that was
Mhm.
encouraging to me. And I was finding I wasn't in a lot of pain. So yeah, I didn't have too many side effects. I did feel sore. My body felt sore. I was on this like 10K walking challenge. I had to stop that for the first couple of weeks. I didn't want to walk
Okay.
anywhere. I was sleeping a lot, and
Okay.
really well for like I've struggled with insomnia and things, and I was really concerned
Wow.
that not having any carbs in my diet would cause insomnia because when I've done like no carb diets before, I struggled. So I was
Mhm.
concerned, but on carnivore, I can sleep like a baby.
Wow.
So
Nice.
just so long as I eat enough. I think anytime I'm not eating enough, then the sleep
Mhm.
is altered. But if I eat enough, yeah, I sleep well. But yeah, those early days I was sleeping, gosh, I was in bed by like a lot of
Wow.
very, very tired.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad that you didn't suffer like, you know, any kind of adverse effects from
No,
the
no, no.
carnivore
It wasn't until,
transition.
like I said, like that's after Dave Mack's show, 6, 7 weeks in, that's when I woke up kind of like with some hives coming all over my body. Then, my
Okay.
eyes started to swell. It didn't look like my eczema, it was more like a hive kind of reaction.
Okay. Something below
It
that.
didn't feel
Yeah.
very well. And that lasted for about 2 weeks, I would say 2 weeks. And
Wow.
during that time, I decided to go lion. Uh,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
just to make sure I wasn't still eating, like you were saying, you were still having dairy and all of that. Early in, I kind of picked up on that the cheese and stuff wasn't going to be good for me. And I also had to take out eggs.
Yep.
So I did that quite early on, thankfully. And then I just recently cut out butter because I
Okay.
realized that was also anytime I would drink my morning coffee, I'm such an addict with my coffee. That's my carnivore treat. I don't care, judge me. But
I drink
anytime I
coffee.
would drink my coffee, my upper lip would get itchy. And so
Oh.
sick around my birthday, and so I didn't have any coffee for, like, the 30 hours that I wasn't eating, and then I noticed the second I drank my coffee, my lips were everything was getting itchy. I'm like, "Huh, I wonder if it's the butter," and I mean, people would say it in my comments, they're like, "Butter's still dairy," but I was like, "Yeah, but it's, like, low," and, you're trying to make any exception, like, I'm already not
I
having
know.
you just want to
I
live
know.
my life, like, so And anyway, I tried it again and I realized, okay, yeah, the butter's got to go. So
Yeah.
that's been very, very sad because I
Yeah. I
love
can tolerate butter. I just can't tolerate too much butter.
Mm,
Like, I tried the whole steak and butter gal thing where you eat
yeah,
a stick of butter a day. I
yeah, yeah,
tried
yeah.
that. I gained 10 pounds.
Oh, yeah. I
I'm
would think
like,
so.
that does not work for me.
Yeah.
So, and plus I did feel more allergic, more kind of phlegm and
Mm,
that
mucus. Yeah.
congestion and
Mm,
all that kind of stuff when I was having too much butter. So
makes
I
sense.
really stopped putting butter in my coffee
Okay.
and don't really add fat to my coffee at this point at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. So, was there anything that you were worried about or afraid about with starting carnivore? Did you feel like this is weird?
I, I think yes and no. Like I think once I started to see all the comments, I'm like, this can't be that. It's gonna be fine. You see the videos, they're like, oh, it's gonna give you a heart attack. But then, like, for every one of those videos, there's like a million comments of otherwise. And I'm a
Mhm.
little bit of a rebel that way. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know that I trust all this mainstream media. Anyway, what they're, the doctors, it's not like the doctors are giving me any alternative. So
Mhm.
I wasn't really worried. I have to get my blood work in a couple of days. So we're going to see
Okay.
how it is there. But I kind of expect, like, I've done enough research to expect perhaps my cholesterol will be higher, but I'm hoping for low triglycerides. And, I feel
Right.
good. Like, so I'm like, I think it's going to be fine. So yeah, I wasn't too worried. Too,
Yeah, what I love about the time that you came in is there's so much more information out here
yeah.
about what to look for, what you
Mhm.
might experience, what kind of labs you should get. I mean,
Yeah,
so much information out here
absolutely.
as far as that's concerned that you can really kind of allay your fears or,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, your
Oh,
worries
what?
by just
I did see a video of people talking about hair loss, and I was like, "Oh, no, 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 we're not trying to lose our hair." So but I haven't experienced that. My hair's actually
that's
grown
good.
since
That's
going,
good. Yeah. Yeah.
and I did a few things to sort of make sure that that would like, I wouldn't lose. I think some of it is also people just lose too much weight too quickly. So that was
Yes.
something that I was concerned about, yeah. Like, am I trying
Yeah.
to lose my hair?
I hear that. I lost a lot of hair when I was on keto. I went on keto diet. I was on keto diet for like, well, I'll say 5 years and then 5 years of Cheeto trying to get back on keto.
Yeah.
So I struggled. I really struggled, but I I lost a lot of hair on
Okay.
keto.
Yeah.
Where not the same, I didn't have the same experience with carnivore.
Okay.
I
Did you
don't
find
hear
you lost a lot of weight on keto as well?
I did. I mean, I lost weight, but I could not keep my weight off
Oh.
on
Mm,
keto. I struggled with carb addiction and
yeah,
carb cravings. So for
yeah.
5 years I did really good, but I also did all of the sort of, you know, mocking up stuff like the
Mhm.
cheesecakes and the
Oh, yeah.
keto cornbread and the
All
keto
that Spanish snacks,
cookies, the
yeah.
keto stuffing, and then, but I was making everything myself because there was really nothing in the marketplace. Then all of these keto treats started coming in, so you start buying all that stuff, and then, you know, yeah. So it was just, I was doing what I would call a high vegetable keto.
Okay.
If I look back at my
Yeah.
plate would be half vegetables with fat, vegetables with butter and cheese, and yeah, I still was eating
No
cheese.
protein. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so I lost a lot of hair on keto.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, you do lose weight. I did lose weight. I feel like when the very first time I tried it, I
Mhm.
lost a lot of weight fast.
Okay.
Then after I kind of went off and went back on, it was more of a struggle to lose weight.
Okay.
So it was like the body was like, "Oh no, you're not tricking me
We're not
again.
gonna do this.
I
Yeah.
see. I see
Yeah.
what you're doing."
Makes sense. Yeah. That
But
makes sense.
yeah, so I haven't experienced that with carnivore.
That's good.
So it's been really good, really good. Okay. So, how long did it take on Carnivore before your skin actually started to improve?
Initially 6 weeks, or no, initially actually I think 4 weeks. I started to look
Okay.
really good. But then I would say at about 90 days, 90 days in is when I think things have been more stable with my skin.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. I'm just so happy for you. I'm
It's
so happy for you.
very exciting. And I think like it's not perfect yet. I mean, some of like I have like what I call elephant hands. Like I make jokes that I'm like half elephant. And it's no longer like the inflammation. It's just like from years of scratching the skin. It's like so that's like slowly going away. But
Mhm.
this is like the first time like I used to have literally slits like in every part of my hand, like
Oh my god, yes.
it's just anything stung, like if anything touches it or so it's pretty cool to just not have that experience. But yeah, I'm not perfect. I would say like maybe I'm like
Mhm.
95%. Um, and if I would stop, indulging in the odd cheese thing, or, I would probably get all the way there. I really do want to challenge myself maybe to do like a lion for a season. I think that
Yes.
would really help, but it's just just seems very boring. So
It's challenging. I did lion. I'm telling you, I did lion for like 1 month, and, I was trying to, do it for a month, and I
okay.
did it for 2 weeks, and I was so depressed. I was like,
Yeah.
"This is terrible, I can't." And so I added back pork. I added
Yes.
pork,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
pork made me feel so good. It made me
yeah,
feel better.
yeah.
So, yeah, lion it's challenging. I think one day I may try it again, but not
Mm,
today.
fair enough.
I like pork. Um, but I know what you mean about that elephant thing. So when I took this creatine,
Okay.
my hand eczema completely flared up. And so I say it looks like burns, like these
Okay.
little spots. They look like burns.
Mm.
And so it takes so long for that to clear up once it flares up. Do you find that?
Yeah, I definitely I feel like my face seems to be like the quickest to heal, or if I get like a little flare from something, but I do find like, yeah, my hands and my neck maybe like the slower spots. Like they're not
Yeah.
bleeding and bruised anymore, but yeah, just to get the skin to look normal. Even when I was on Dupixent, it was still taking the longest for those parts.
Mhm.
Your face immediately, and you know what? I'm not it's okay. Let the face be the first thing to be
Right.
fixed.
Exactly. I that same exact experience where my face cleared up and I really don't have too much going on with the face unless like when I took this creatine, right?
Yeah.
I could see just a shadow of
Shadow.
this
Yeah.
trying to come back, but it kind of went away really fast, no problem. But the hands, they take a month.
They
They take
take
a month to
it's
clear up.
yeah.
And, this itchiness, tell me about the eczema itch.
Gosh, it's like it's hell on earth. I tell people, I'm like, I don't wanna go to hell because I already know what it feels like. Like, I know what it's
Terrible.
like to feel like my whole body's on fire. Like, I've been
Mhm.
there, done that, and I still actually get itchy. I think when I eat, like, cured meats, I think that plays a role as
Mhm.
well. But I feel more manageable now, so I'm like I said, it's not I don't feel so uncomfortable that I'm gonna go to that extreme with the lion
Right.
or, but the itch is very difficult. I thankfully I don't itch as much as I used to. I would constantly like, it would be embarrassing, even if when you watch my videos before when I was on Dupixent and stuff, you'd always like the whole video, and I would
Mhm.
watch it, I'm like, "I look like I'm on drugs." Like, just constantly. It's chronic. But you know something, Robin? I think now, sometimes when I scratch, I think it's a habit scratch. I think when I think about it, I'm like, "Victoria, you're not even itchy. You're
Right.
just so used to doing it." But
Mhm.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's just endless. And you find every object you can to get that like good scratch. Like
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
terrible.
I tell the people on my channel all the time that, like, that eczema itch in the hands To me, the only thing that touches it is scalding hot water.
Oh my gosh, that's heaven. It
It's
feels so
so
good.
bad for your skin, but oh my God. Anybody who has hand eczema knows, or even
You
body
know,
eczema, you get in a scalding hot shower
yeah.
and it feels amazing.
It was amazing.
Just
Oh, I would do that on my, because I used to get it here, and I would be under the hot water, just like turning it as hot, and you're just like,
yes. Yeah. Oh my God. It's so bad for your skin.
feels so
But
bad. It's so
people
good.
know. People know. People who have eczema know that
Yeah,
that
you
is
know,
the only thing
you
that it's a deep itch that
know,
is
deep,
like nothing can touch it.
insatiable, insatiable.
So, so bad. Oh my
So
God.
since being carnivore, I do still struggle with itch, but one thing I've noticed is my skin has this ability. The skin doesn't break, or it doesn't like cause as much damage. So even
Oh,
if I have a little scratch fest, my skin still looks relatively normal. So,
oh, that's
I'm
good.
not mad at that.
Yeah, right. It's incredible what the carnivore diet can do, honestly. It really, really is. And I always say that the body is just an amazing healing machine. Like, who knew that you could heal from this? I was born with it. I literally came out of the womb scratching.
Yeah,
And so you're thinking that it's just something that you're just going to have to deal with all of your life. And then come to find out
yeah.
you can heal from this.
Heal from it. Yep.
Really incredible. So tell us about what you're eating.
Okay. My favorite thing is not steak, surprisingly.
Okay.
It's actually one of my least favorite things. I do still love a good steak, like, but it's not. I think when people think carnivore, they're like, always like, "Oh, it's going to be so expensive and steak." I just love ground beef. Like, ground
Mhm.
beef is my favorite thing to eat. Today I just made some meatballs. Um,
Mm.
you could make smash burgers. You could just saute it. I eat onions still. Sue me.
Okay.
Um, so
We're not the carnivore police over here.
anyway, they can arrest me. I'm guilty as charged. I'll still put a little onions in my ground beef and just like eat like a ground beef bowl. That's like one of my favorite things to
Mm,
eat.
mhm,
For breakfast, I often eat bacon. That's probably if I could have eggs, I'd eat the bacon and eggs, but a lot of bacon and ground beef, burger patties. I would say that's mostly like I'll eat chicken wings or chicken thighs, uh, but I eat a lot of ground beef, a lot of ground
mhm,
beef.
mhm.
I must say,
Yeah.
if I open my freezer right now, you're gonna see like 10 tubes of ground beef, and it's quite cost effective. And I like ground turkey, I like ground chicken, I like ground meat. I did
Mhm.
find early on, and maybe this is my difficulty with steak too often, is that like the texture, I get like those, it's like I'm craving like a myriad of texture that I feel like when you can make some of your ground beef crispy and then some of it a little bit underdone. And so when you
Yes.
get into it, there's like something happening. But
Yes.
with steak, it's just this constant sameness that kind of, I think that was the only thing. And I figured that out really quickly. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need to eat different things to give me that
Yeah.
texture.
Do
Yeah,
you
that's why I like
add
crunch.
Oh, yeah, I like the crispy, ground beef. So
Mm,
good. I
yeah.
like patties, though. I really like my burger to be in a patty for some reason. I
Okay.
do like the ground beef bowl, but it's not my favorite. I would rather have a giant half-pound patty than
Okay.
eat
Yeah.
it like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I
Do you
love the
add
McDonald's
any fat to your
patty.
to your
Pardon?
food? Do you add any fat at all to your food?
I'll use the bacon grease. So that's kind of like how I'm adding my fat back. I used to do butter, but now no butter for me. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably also why I like so much ground beef, because it's already quite fatty as
Yes.
is. But like if I am like with my chicken, I use that. And sometimes I use avocado oil. Like if I'm making for my family, I'll just have some of their chicken and it has avocado oil. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. That sounds good, that sounds good. And you said that you haven't really experimented with reintroducing foods yet.
Mm-mm.
Do you
At
think you
Christmas,
will?
like a taste and spit, like, I
Oh,
would,
okay.
I'm Jamaican partly background, and
Oh,
so
okay.
we love, black cake at Christmas time, so I literally kept taking bites and then spitting them out, like, it was definitely giving eating disorder, but because I just wanted the flavor. Oh, it was so delicious. So
Mm.
that was probably, and I'm sure I absorbed at least a spoonful through, all that taste and spitting. But I haven't
Yeah.
sat down yet and had a full meal. I feel like anytime if I try like the slightest thing, my stomach hurts. Like I can tell, or
Mhm.
even just sometimes if I go places that like a restaurant, the smell makes me feel like nauseous depending on what's
Mm.
cooked. I remember trying a French fry of my kids, and I'm like, this oil is dirty. Like I can just tell that the oil is dirty. And so I don't really have a desire to eat those things anymore. Like maybe those novel things, like you're going to see me at Christmas next year, tasting and spitting again, because I love me some black cake. But um, yeah, I don't feel like I really care to eat. I don't miss salad. I don't
No,
miss,
I don't
I
miss
don't
that.
want rice. I don't want pasta. So I'm okay.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, the salad thing is like it was the dressing that was really making it tolerable, and the dressings, unless you're gonna make your own,
Yeah.
are filled with seed
Rich.
oils. So
Yeah.
it's like we don't want that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. Well, good. Did you have any cravings or anything happen to you after you did your taste and spits?
Just like a little bit of flare. Yeah. Just
Okay.
under my eye, I noticed kinda came up a little bit more red,
Yep.
and I was probably more itchy that day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
just kinda know, like, my body just knows. I know it's not gonna be good for me, so even if I didn't let's say I don't stay carnivore for the rest of my life, I'm like, "I wonder what else I would eat then," because
Mhm.
now, like, the way I look at food is completely different, and so I'm just like, nothing really looks that appealing anymore," and I also know I'm not even absorbing it. Most of it is not even bioavailable to me, and even just, like, my digestion is so good now, I just wouldn't wanna mess that up.
Yeah, I totally get you. I thought really that I was gonna do carnivore for 90 days.
Mhm.
I knew that I would do 90 days. So that was one thing that I did was when I first started, I'm gonna start with 90 days. That was kind of Dr. Barry's recommendation.
Yeah,
And but I thought I will introduce things back in after the 90 days.
yeah.
Well, things changed so much for me. Um, I had a lot of different disease states. I'm a little older
Mhm.
than you. Had a
Well,
lot
you
of
can
stuff going on already, but I realized, oh, there's no return from here. There's no going back to what we were doing before. So it's just not possible. And then the more sensitive your body gets over
Mhm.
time, the more these things affect you when you try to incorporate them.
It's true.
Is what I
It's very true.
found.
Yeah,
So,
people always ask me like, "Oh, when are you going back?" I'm like, "Guys, I don't really think I'm going back," Like,
no,
I
it's
think
not
this
worth
is it.
it. It's really
No.
not worth it, honestly. I mean, I see people going back. I do see some people going back.
Mm.
And I'm like, wow,
Yeah,
your why must not have been enough to keep
I know.
you
It's true.
stable.
I
Cause
mean, if you feel good and you've gone back, then hey, all the
yeah,
power to you. Like, we eat this way because we have to. I don't think if we had to, we wouldn't be here. So,
yeah,
but,
that's true.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, yep, yep. And so it's a game changer for this particular ailment, this
Mhm.
eczema ailment. It's really, 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 really helpful for it. Okay, so if someone is struggling with eczema right now, where should they start? What would you recommend?
Hmm. Okay. I would say if you're struggling, first I would say to go on a fast, to do some sort of fast. I like to do like a collagen and water fast with like collagen powder and water, but do some fasting. Get yourself a colonic. That sounds
Mm,
interesting, but I did actually prior to healing from like a couple years ago, I did 8 sessions of colonics and it really helped my skin.
okay.
But obviously, I ended up bringing back in the garbage food, and so I flared. But I say to get a colonic because it just kind of it almost sets you up for success if you're about to go carnivore. And then, yeah, just start eating meat every day, morning, noon, and night. Eat lots of meat. Watch lots of YouTube University and major in the carnivore diet.
Yes.
And you'll see some success, definitely.
Yes, absolutely. So, let's see here. I just want to see. I think I've asked all my questions, but what I want to do is bring up your channel,
Okay. Cool.
and you can tell us a little bit about what you're doing over here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, well, this is the few, the few carnivores, and I'm just here sharing, my experience. I'm new to this, so I'm not like a guru or an expert, but if you want like just honest perspective of what it's like to be a carnivore, I have that in mixed in with, I've got my recipes, I've got, oh, there you can see my hair growth. That one short, you can see the difference carnivore makes.
Wow.
So
Impressive.
yeah, just kind of sharing my experience and just bringing community. Because like I said, a lot of times you're sick and you feel like you're one of the few. So if you want
Mhm.
to feel like you can be a part somewhere and find someone who's just gonna listen to you and hear you, I am your girly. And yeah, so it's there I am. This feels very weird looking at
Look at there. There you are live on my channel.
so funny.
You guys go and subscribe to Victoria's channel. I'm gonna drop it, and
Love
I'll
it.
make sure that it is in the
Share your
description
story.
box below. Yes, go and subscribe to her channel. I saw you, and I was so impressed. The quality of your videos is like, what? You better go ahead.
Thank you. Oh, thank you,
So
thank you.
good.
I
So
hope,
good.
like, you're just here talking to a computer. Like, I hope this is resonating, like, with just a
So
few,
good.
just a few.
Yeah. Really good. If I wish I would have found your channel when
Mm,
I had my eczema, because I thought I was the one,
yeah,
except for people in my family. I've seen people with eczema, but nobody really talking about it.
yeah.
And I'm really just so thankful that we have found a way of eating that actually improves, if not heals, eczema. It's absolutely incredible.
No,
So,
it's so encouraging because we suffer. We really like it's suffering. It's like a quiet suffering, and people just look at it like, oh, it's just a rash. Oh, it's just, but unless you've been through it, you understand. Like I said the other day, I was looking at those pictures and I started tearing up because like it's like
mhm.
I brought back the pain and now every day I don't feel like I'm in that much pain anymore. So you can slowly forget as you heal, you just kind of, this is my new normal. I don't have to worry about looking like Freddy Krueger anymore, but every once in a while it's good to look back at those pictures and I'm like, wow, like this has changed my life.
Absolutely. Well, we are out of time, but before we go, I do want to talk to you guys about impact.
Ooh,
I'm going to pop this up and I'm going to give Victoria the final word. But Impact Meetup and Eat Up with Carnivorous Grandma and Friends is going to be held in Kalamazoo, Michigan, September 5th, 2026. And I'm excited to announce that I am going to be doing a buy one, get one half off in the month of April. So starting April 1st, for just a few days, we will be having a BOGO. So it will be a great time to get your tickets. You guys can scan that QR code. It will take you to my website where you can get your tickets for the event. And we're gonna have just a great time. We got Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, Nurse Laura, Emma and Carrie are coming. Also, we've got my daughter, Ariana Heron, PAC. We've got Happy Sexy Health coming in from the UK. We got Meet Julia and Rich. We've got George and Laney coming in, Rockin' Coach Amy. And I think I heard that Grandma's Crochet Corner might be coming in as well. So you don't want to miss this. It's going to be awesome. But before we go, Victoria, can you tell us a little bit about your meetup coming up? And then I'm going to let you have the final word and we will be done for the day.
oh, wow. Yeah, I am having a meetup, probably not as awesome as this carnivore grandma here. I'm ready to drive to Michigan myself. Ironically, September 5th is the day I went carnivore.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, that's pretty cool. I
I'll be
remember
there for perfect.
maybe I should come. But anyway, mine is in April in the Greater Toronto area. If you check the link, you go to my page, you'll see it. Greater Toronto area for any fellow Torontonians, or if you live close by, come check us out. And we're just going to get together and eat meat and drink water. But thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure to meet you. And listen, if you have eczema or any ailment that you're, suffering from, I really encourage you to give this diet a try. It's not just any regular diet. It's really life-changing. And at the end of all of my videos, I always say what's on the back of my shirt, which it says,
Eat
everybody
meat.
keep eating, drinking water.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you so much.